Hello there guys, Francis Gray here and welcome back to another Plants vs Zombie chess set build, and in today's video we're going to be concentrating on the zombie knights. I'll see you after this. Okay guys, so today's build is going to be the zombie knights from the iconic game Plants vs Zombies, and I did a bit of research, and out of all the characters I was and ahhing between either the zombie with the ladder, because obviously knights can jump over other characters, so I thought those characters go over, but I didn't really want like the idea of these bulky ladders taking up like your line of sight. And I came up with the conclusion of, well, with knights we have the horse's head, and I do quite like, and I do think it's quite comical, the rubber duck dinghy kind of floatable zombies in the pool stages. Now I know there isn't any pool on the board, but those are the ones that stood out the most. So I'm not 100% sold on that idea, so I might tweak it as I'm building. But right now, this second, that's probably the way I'm going to go. Is the rubber floatable, rubber ducky zombies. So yeah, should be a unique build, and I'm quite looking forward to it. So yeah, sit back and enjoy, and I will see you at the end. Okay guys, in order to start this build, I went onto one of my favourite websites, thingiverse.com. And I typed in Plants vs Zombies, and then one of the first files that came up was this rather fun looking regular pawn zombie, or just regular, the zombies that mainly attack. So as you can see there, we haven't got the rubber dinghy, rubber duck round them. So this was originally uploaded by a user called Ebros. So this is the closest we're going to get to start off with. So I downloaded this file, as well as this other file of a rubber duck uploaded by a user called Willy. And then once I spliced the two files together and added a donut shape to make a rubber ducky floatable around the midsection of the zombie, I then sliced the zombie up into 3 parts so it'll be a lot easier to print. So basically head, torso, and then upside down feet. So now that we have our file ready, let's go ahead to the 3D printer and let's get 3D printing.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, so here they are, both printed off, and it's turned out fairly decent. It's not as crisp and clean as I would have liked, but I've worked with worse in the past, so I'm pretty sure we can fix this. So yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start taking this apart. Okay, some of these parts are problematic. It looks like the some of the legs are wanting to come away, so it's going to take me a while to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the next bit.
15 minutes later.
Okay guys, so I went ahead and I cleaned up as much as I can, but it is still quite on the rough side. So as you can see here, it's like only half of that arm printed there. So that is at the moment super weak compared to the rest of it. Quite a bit of cleanup on the bottom is needed.
Bottom.
The feet basically just came apart in 3 parts. So both feet and then the main legs itself. The head seemed okay. So the head is just a traditional zombie head, so that seems to be fine. Now the second one of these didn't fare as well as that. So same again, this side of this arm printed better than that other one, but his hand came off. So that's not great. These legs, this one stayed on, but I don't know if it's showing up on the camera or not, but this didn't print very well. So it can be smoothed down and filled in, so no big worry. But this is probably the worst one. Look at that. That is pretty shocking. That is yeah.
Brother,
So if I'm truthfully honest, if I had to blame something, I'll blame the filament that I used, because it was supposed to be one of these like colour shifting ones, and even though I don't really need these to be colour shifted, it was just I had a bit of it left that needed to be used up, and I thought I'd print this out to save on filament, and I think that has been my downfall, because this colour changing filament doesn't seem to be all that cracking compared to your standard typical. So everything about this is screaming just throw away or start again, but I do quite like a challenge, so I am wondering, is it worth me actually continuing on with these and just see if I can make it all work. So for now, if you're seeing this, I'm continuing on. Right, let's crack on with the next step, which is I'm gonna go over and light a candle and put these over with some pliers, and then that should hopefully relax a lot of the filament and get rid of those god awful wispy lines.
get the idea.
Okay, so for the next part I need to go in and I need to secure quite a lot of these with some high velocity super glue, basically just to stop it from when I'm working on it, like wispy bits come loose and stuff like that. So we need to toughen it up on the inside as well. So might work beautifully, might work beautifully.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Nope.
Might go horribly wrong, I'm not too sure. So for the next part I'm going to go in with some wood filler, and I'm just going to go ahead and get a little bit of it on my finger and then just rub it over some of the surface details just to get in between all of the defects and layer lines. For the next part I'm going to go in with some trusted old Aves epoxy modelling clay, and I'm going to go ahead and support that hideous defect in the zombie's arm, and this will help strengthen the arm, as well as a few other extra bits and bobs.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
And now we need to go ahead and work on the legs and try and strengthen them. Now the actual filament legs themselves just crumble apart and we're no use, neither use nor ornament. So I'm going to have to go in with a very fine drill bit, and I'm going to go ahead and cut a nice steady bit of wire armature to shape, carefully glue it, and then this will be a kind of like bone structure, so we can go ahead and make a new leg.
You got new legs. New legs.
Okay guys, so as you can see here, this one is missing both legs. So yeah, for the next stage I'm going to go in with some Aves epoxy. Okay, so it's an okay start. So we'll leave that to fully dry and then we'll see if we can sculpt around it.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Okay guys, so been working on these on the side, and yeah, they're not really going very well. This one is a little bit better. This one would be salvageable, but the problem is there's a really bad seam line there, that from where it previously broke. Now that'll always be a weak point, so this one is definitely a no-go. That has just not gone very well at all. So to save myself time, instead of putting extra work into these, I decided to go ahead and reprint some brand new legs. And thankfully these ones was printed on a better filament, so these turned out a lot better. Still had a bit of work cleaning them up, but we're back up to speed now. So the other ones I'll just throw in the bin, no point keeping them, and then we'll crack on with these. Okay guys, so at this point I'm thinking that I need to make this build a little bit more interesting. So I love the rubber ring ducky, as we've previously mentioned, but me typing in Plants vs Zombies and then I typed in night, I wasn't expecting anything really to come up. Maybe it's just some fan art, but it actually seems like they actually did make one in one of the other games, so I didn't originally know this. So, seeing that they actually have made an official night part of the Plants vs Zombies universe, I thought I'm going to have to go ahead and try to recreate this. So, we are going to keep the rubber ducky kind of ring as a metaphor for the actual horse, or the horse head, so to speak. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can recreate this guy. So, I started off going to my favourite website, once again, thingiverse.com. And we went ahead and searched for just general nights, and then this came up and it was uploaded by a user called ColorFab. And as you can see here, we have a nice little model of a night. So I ended up putting this into another software called Matter Control, where I had a little bit more opportunity to basically slice this up, clean it up, and make it into a two-part STL file that I mirrored and then sandwiched together, and then this was then put on top of the traditional zombie sculpture head, as well as making like the new arms and shield, etc. So for the shield, I ended up I abandoned the shield that came with the STL file, and I ended up making like a bin lid. So I thought that was a little bit more comical than a proper shield, because I can't see Zomboss taking the time to make heavy duty shields. I think it will be more just scraps that, if we here, there and everywhere. So now that all the main parts are together, I then went ahead and put it into my 3D slicing software, and now that we have that, we can go ahead and start printing the extra parts.
Eventually.
Okay, so here are all the new parts. So if they are going to work, I have no idea, but at first glance these swords didn't print very well, so I might have to refashion something with them. So I'll put them to one side. So here are the dustbin shields. They seem to be okay. I think I can use them. And then we have the heads. Now at first glance I'm wondering, are these a little bit too big? So we won't know until we clean it all up. Okay, so here are all the other parts printed off. Now this turned out really well, and so did the bin shield, but the sword did not turn out all that great. So we might have to rethink the sword part. But for the next part, I'm going to go ahead and drill a channel hole and add a thin bit of metal for a pin system, and we're going to go ahead and secure the head and helmet in place. So once that had finished drying, I then went ahead and did the exact same, this time with the bin lid shield. Now the tricky part with this is there's not a lot of surface area for the glue to hold on to.
Alright.
Okay guys, so I've run into a bit of a problem. So as I was sanding this, as you can see there, that has just come away, and it doesn't matter how many times I glue it, another part of it breaks. So unfortunately we can't use that. So yeah, so what I was thinking about doing was, now I've gone through my bit box and I came across these, and these are like little thin plastic sword party skewer things. I got the huge bag of them for like, I think it was like £2.50 or something a long time ago. So yeah, I was thinking about maybe chopping this off and then seeing if I could incorporate one of these. Okay, so at first glance this looks like it might work. And now this is the part of the video where I remind viewers that in the past I made these little chest bases. So obviously, as you can see there, we have the iconic piece image on the front of the base, so we know what the pieces are, because anybody that's played with themed pieces in the past or chess sets in the past, you very quickly can forget which pieces are which. So this is just a nice way of remembering what's what. So now that we've got these, let's go ahead and print some off.
5 billion years later.
Okay, so now that the main figure is done, for the next stage we need to go ahead and glue him to his base. Okay, so for the next part I'm going to go in with some of this stuff, which is UV resin. Okay, so I'm pretty sure followers of this channel already know what this stuff is. Basically, you just go over it with resin, and it goes over the filament lines, and once you cook it in sunlight or under a UV lamp, it hardens, and then when you got a grey primer or white primer, etc., you don't see those horrible layer lines that you tend to get with filament printing. So now that that's described, let's go ahead and start cooking.
Jesse, we have to cook.
And once that was left a couple of hours to fully cure, we then back into the spray booth, and this time I'm going to hit it with a couple of coats of a nice white prime, and then we can go ahead and leave these to dry.
Alright.
And for the next part I'm going to go in with a medium yellow from Model Air. And for the next part I'm going to go in with some natural grey from Model Colour. And for the next bit I'm going to go in with a light grey for Model Colour, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the inside of the Knight emblem. And while the grey is still out, I'm going to go in with a stipple brush. I'm going to go ahead and add a light dry brush over the dark skin areas. And for the next part I'm going to go in with a scarlet red from a tester pot. I'm going to carefully try and paint the inside of the zombie's mouth, and then this will get dulled down later on, and then while the scarlet red's out we might as well start laying a base coat colour to the plumage on top of the knight's helmet. And now in with our orange rust from Model Colour, and we're going to start painting the duck's beak.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So for the next part I'm going to go ahead and start painting the steel on the armour, and it's going to be with a mixture of silver from Model Air and some black metallic from also Model Air. And for the next part, I'm going to go in with a black felt marker, and we're going to go ahead and paint the outside ridge of the knight emblem. And then once that had dried, I then went in with a steel ruler, and then I carefully drew a couple of millimeters line around all the sides of the box. Basically, this is just going to map out a nice straight edge, so when I go ahead and paint it, it looks more like a boxed frame.
Huh?
And for the next part, I'm going to go in with some ultramarine blue from Game Colour, and we're going to go ahead and start painting the jeans. And for the next part, I'm going to go in with some brown surface primer, and I'm going to start painting his jacket and his shoes. And now in with some bone white from Game Colour, and we're going to go ahead and paint a layer over the eyes. And now we're going to go back into the spray booth, and I'm going to give it a couple of coats of a nice gloss varnish. Then that will help seal and protect all the base coat colours that we've done. And yeah, we'll just leave that to dry for now, and then we can crack on with a few little tweaky bits in a moment.
But wait, there's more.
For the next part, I'm going to go in with a black sharp lined paint pen, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint on some of the details. And for the next part, I'm going to go in with some glorious gold from Game Colour. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go ahead and add felt to the bottom of the base.
Perfect.
And now I'm going to go ahead and trim off the base.
Yeah, boy.
And now for the final step, I'm going to go in with a nice chrome silver marker, and I'm just going to add a few little highlights. So that's like his belt buckle there, and then the edge of the sword, and then a few little glimmery bits on the shield and on the helmet. And then once that is dried, I think we have finished.
The zombies are coming.
Okay, so all left to do now is to add them to the chest set. Okay guys, so here they are, all finished, and I have to admit I am happy with the finished result. So I've had a lot of fun with this one, and yeah, I'm looking forward to cracking on with the others. So if you've enjoyed this video, please slap that like button, share on Facebook and Twitter, because those new people find the YouTube channel, which I'm always appreciate. Thank you for any help. If you have any comments, comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on future builds. And if you're going to be a legendary viewer, please take 5 minutes to check out my Patreon page, where with your help we can do these videos full time rather than part time, which means a lot more videos and content for you guys and a lot more work and support for me. So once again, I'm Francis Gray, and this has been the Plants vs Zombies Black Knight build. I'll see you in the next one. If you like the content that I'm making, you'd like to support my work, here is a few links in the description, but only if you can afford it, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.